Okay, I'm back with the Valspar Heavy Stain Blocking Bonding Primer Sealer. And another good thing about it is that, well, it blocks stains and it offers a mildew resistant finish. So that is very important in a bathroom, and it is a good reason to spend the extra money and get the more expensive gallon of primer, which this is more expensive. It's $30 instead of $19. I believe that's the way to go in a bathroom especially, but in other circumstances where you need to even out the texture from making repair work, or even from the lines left from removal of wallpaper. Gloves, they're not even strong.
Put your hands where I can see them.
We're gonna get started. I had them stir it, shake it there, and therefore I'm not gonna worry about re-stirring it. And I have a 1/2-inch nap roller. That's a good one, right in the middle. Not too long and textural, but not trying to keep it so smooth. Oops. So for today, what we're trying to accomplish is get all of the drywall that we put up and patched and whatnot, all that mud sealed, which goes onto the ceiling as well as down the walls. But since I'm still working on this part of the ceiling, we're just gonna leave that go. I can always touch that up even after the toilet is in and all of that. Right now it's just trying to get things moving forward, get these walls sealed up so then I can paint it and then put the toilet back in, or a brand new toilet back in. So I think I forgot to bring my ladder back in. Oh, and also I've put down plastic on all the surfaces I want to protect from splatter. And since this is just the primer and not the color going on the walls, we don't need to be careful about edging it in. It's going all the way on the ceiling and all the way down the walls. So we're just getting it up there. So this is the bathroom after it's been primed with the heavy bonding primer, and you can see that, and I'm going along the side trying to get close up, there's no lines or imperfections between the drywall and the tape joints overall. So and if you remember, down through here was a tape joint, and you can't even tell. Trying to go along the wall in a way where you can see going across, skimming across the surface. And out of all of the whole entire wall and around all of the joints, the only one that I was dissatisfied with was right here at the corner of the left-hand side of the shower. So I've remudded it and I will prime it again, and you can still see a slight little line right at the corner, but it's a lot better than it was, and it's stillable, being that the curtain is going to cover that area up anyway. And I have finished all of the mudding and sanding for the light, and it is just needing to be primed now. Okay, so I'm going to do a custom blend paint for the walls that will maybe help incorporate it with the color scheme of the rest of the house. This is a color that I've used on a wall, and it's too dark for the bathroom, but I don't like wasting a lot of stuff, so I have less than a half of a gallon left. I don't want to use it all anyway, because when I go to move, if there's any nicks on this wall, I would want to cover them up, so at least it's a nice clean wall, regardless if they want to change colors or what. Like after you remove pictures and different things, there's usually holes that need to be filled and stuff to try to leave something nice for the new person. Another good reason to kind of clean out and have empty paint cans available. So I'm going to lighten this color, and I don't, like I said, I want to keep some on hand, so I don't want to use it all, but I want to make enough that I don't run out on the bathroom wall as well. Like, it'd be kind of suck to be 3/4 of the way done and run out of a custom color. I have a little bit of a cream color left that was supposed to be a color blend to match something that already existed but did not, so I had used it on different things, but there's just a little bit left. So this is actually kind of a yellowy cream color, so that will change this up a little bit. So as you can see, I'm using my paintbrush as a spatula to get every little bit out. Alright, so we have that in there to change it up a little bit. It's made it a little bit more chocolatey. This is the color we're working with now, which is kind of more like a chocolate milk. So still need it lighter, which I already anticipated. So this is ceiling paint and primer, but I have a whole gallon on hand. It seals water and other household stains, but it also has mold and mildew resistant finish to it, which is great for a bathroom. So I think I basically have this whole gallon that's not being used on anything yet. So I went ahead and I poured like probably 2/3 of that into here. We're up to about 7/8 of a gallon, and I've stirred and stirred and stirred it. Now we're coming up with this color, which kind of looks like the creamy marshmallow topping on a top of a hot cocoa drink. So I'm liking that color a lot better. We turned the color chocolate cheesecake into chocolate marshmallow. So this is the color samples we're working on, and I'm going to still play around a little bit. This was the start, which is chocolate cheesecake, cream color that I had on hand that I wanted to use up, and then this was adding more white. And in the beginning I thought this was okay because it didn't look like it had pinky tones to it, but after it dries and come back and look at it, it to me looks like strawberry chocolate milk. So I don't like that. I want some more honey or golden caramelly look to it. So we're going to add a little bit of a color I have on hand that is called caramel honey, which is perfect since that's what I want to bring out with the chocolate color. So this is the color of the caramel honey. And you can see how bold it is, and that's why we're only going to put a little bit in at a time. Just enough to erase the pinky color. Let's stir that in and see. Okay, I don't think that's enough to change anything, so at least we know it's not going to change things drastically now, so almost is looking like it's coming more pink, so I don't know. Alright, so I'll let that dry and come back, and hopefully this pinky color is gone and it just looks like a nice kind of chocolate caramely beige. Get started on painting the ceiling, and usually when I paint a ceiling I don't worry about this corner edge coming down on the wall, especially when everything's already been painted and needs a fresh start. This way, if you go and come down on the wall, you're just covering that corner up really good so that when you edge into the ceiling with your wall color, you have a fresh new line. And that's really important if there's already colors on the wall, because you don't want to see an old color coming through in that seam between the wall and the ceiling underneath a new color that you're choosing. So I mean, in this particular incident, it's not that important, but since it's all just been done recently, it just coats in that corner more and more. Here's the bathroom after the first coat, and it actually, all the roller area does actually look thick and solid, but you can tell wherever the brush marks are for corners and just areas that the roller wouldn't fit is still very, very thin. So we're gonna go ahead and do a second full coat, even though the roller area doesn't really look like it needs it. You can really see how thin it is across the top and corners though. I do love the color. I think that it'll go really, really well with the colors that are in the countertop. Whenever I've done a coat of paint and there's a day in between, like probably 8 hours or so in between, I always go by and scuff sand it before the next coat. It'll get off any little pieces of debris or lint that might have got trapped in the coat of paint. We don't want any of that to fall in the paint. I'm going to just cover this up for a second. While doing something like that, then you do notice where your gaps are, where there's not necessarily solid coverage. So I did find a couple spots, so it is good that we're just going ahead and repainting the whole thing. I always start with edging because I just feel like the roller then blends in with that edging a lot better than doing the edging after the rolling. It just doesn't necessarily blend into the two. And I get a different brush because I just feel like the brush strokes would be different and just helps make everything more solid. Shower corner with the roller and never wiped it down, so I gotta clean that up today. Apparently I didn't notice it or didn't get to it. Oops, hit the ceiling. Good reason to have a wet cloth on hand at all times so you can clean up your mess right then. That's actually what makes a good painter, not the fact that you can stay within the lines perfect, because if you have a wet cloth, even if you get outside of lines, you can use that in a straight edge like a good putty knife or something and hurry up and get your line tidied back up. That's what makes a good painter, someone who cares to correct their problems. Here I go again. I'm not going to have any clean cloth left at this rate. Okay, so basically I'm just going to do that all the way around. I'm going to just try to make sure I get good complete coverage And then it'll be time to start taking up the plastic and getting things clean after everything dries, so that we can start finishing out the medicine cabinet, the plumbing for the vanity, and start moving back into the bathroom completely.
Hey everybody, it's Nova. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. We really appreciate your guys' support. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you have any thoughts or feelings or comments, do comment down below because we love reading your thoughts. If you haven't subscribed or clicked the notification bell for our channel yet, please do that so you know exactly when we upload. With that said, thank you guys again for watching and stay safe out there.